We are back on Queens Boulevard.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Hello, everybody.
I should have warmed up.
I'm jealous. I'm burning with jealousy.
Same.
Listen, guys, we're burning with love over here. What if I just did the whole podcast like a 1993 black radio host? Okay, guys. So this is Queens Boulevard. Welcome back. I am one of your hosts, Chelsea Grow. What's going on? What's up with you? And what's your name, girl?
What's up, Chelsea Girl? My name is Bree Geiger.
Hey.
What's up, Bree Geiger? My name is Alice Hamilton.
Hey, and we are the crew. Let's go. I just gotta ask y'all, like, how, because we had a big holiday. Obviously, it was Thanksgiving. So why don't y'all just recap y'all Thanksgivings? So you know, I'll go first real quick though. I love how I asked y'all and then I said I'll go first. I was like,
No, please do.
Actually, now the weeds really kicked in, and I don't want to go first.
Same. That's why I was like, yes. Thank you. Alice got us high again.
I'm more than happy to go first.
Yes. Okay.
Amazing. Thank you.
If y'all need a minute to think.
No, for sure.
Alice, please tell us about your Thanksgiving.
Okay, so I had tried to go to bed early because y'all know I'm nocturnal. So it was like Thanksgiving's a day that I got to be awake during the day. So it didn't work, and I was up till like 5, and I slept until like 10, and then I made macaroni and cheese and went to
10 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not bad at all.
No. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Okay.
But then I got to the Thanksgiving, and I went to, I don't know if you guys know Joel Jimenez, but like, we've been friends for a while. I've been going to his Thanksgiving for like 4 years now, I think. And my boyfriend's been going to his Thanksgiving for like almost 10 years. So we just like go and have Thanksgiving with Joel and his family and his like relatives. And sometimes there's little kids running around there. This year we just watched Taskmaster. I made some macaroni and cheese, but I did not put enough salt and pepper in it, which was fine because it's like you can just put that on afterwards. But I was kind of embarrassed to tell everyone you have to put a little salt and pepper on this.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Don't even worry about it, girl. It got eaten. I already know.
Yes. No. I'm so nervous to oversalt something, which I've never done. But I'm still just like throwing a little bit in, and sometimes my food will come up unsalted, and it's like I need to just pick a teaspoon or a tablespoon or a fourth or whatever the fuck, and just be like, every time this. And if it's like, you know, depending on the size of the shit that I'm cooking with. I'm not a good cook. I don't come from good cooks.
Wait, I'm sorry. You can't say you a good cook, and we have you on a video talking about you made a cheesecake at 5 a.m, girl. People who can't cook don't be like, I'm just gonna put this cheesecake on this crust.
Last few episodes, you had cooked some things too, and I was like, I don't even know where to start with that.
Okay, well.
Or pie? Was it a pie?
Yeah, something. Girl, everything's baked. The girls be baking. The girls got muffins, cookies on deck.
It's eating it and it's good.
Because this is the 4th time I have fucked up a blackberry apple pie. This is the 4th time I fucked it up. The recipe even said cut the blackberries in half, and I was like, I don't feel like doing all that shit. They're gonna cook, and it's like, no, you kind of really gotta cut them in half. And when I'm eating them, because it's just like it's still a huge blackberry, I was like, I should have cut this shit into smaller pieces. I thought it would kind of come apart.
Girl, I love a big blackberry. Okay, what I'm telling you, I love. If I am gonna have pie, I love that big chunk of fruit in the. So I don't know who's complaining, but you know,
I sliced the granny apple slices so thin that it was just like a huge fucking blackberry in there, and it just wasn't proportional to the, you know. It tasted good. It tasted yummy, but it was definitely a big chunk of blackberry. Oh, and I fucked up the crust. It was so thick. It was like as thick as a finger, the crust on the top.
Oh, okay.
And so it was just like so thick.
I know you're talking about pie, but it's just my girl. Sometimes.
Y'all can clip that. That's one of many homeschool things I'll just absentmindedly say without thinking about how nasty it is in real life.
But I know you're talking about pie, but it's still like,
no, I said that a little sexually too. When you talk about food,
So
it's kind of.
It was the berries for me. How you describe berries, girl.
Now I'm high and I'm thinking, how much was I talking about these fruit? Like,
yeah. Well, you wanted to go first, so no, it was perfect. No, it's perfect. It's perfect.
No, thank you for going first because my mind just had a whole freeze. And so thank you for being on deck.
We've all had our high moments where we're like, and then we're like, you can go. And then I'm like, that was yours. Like, I don't know if that was the best, but it's nice to hear you talk about what you're worried about. And I love talking about this with my friends or what you're worried about with your recipe and stuff, because you're such a queen, such a genius to me that I love that yours was like, your whole idea of that was like, I didn't want to have to tell people to put on salt and pepper. Like that was like the downfall of all of that of you, which is like, okay, it just normalized you for me for like a little bit.
Oh yeah, no,
Alice Hamilton fucks up too.
Yeah, right. I felt the same thing. I was like, oh my gosh, the girls is human. Because it's just like, I mean, because I know Alice for years, and I've always like seen you, like you just 9 times out of 10 you just seem like you are in a good mood or in a good energy. Like I don't think I've ever seen you mad. I know I've heard stories about when you had to check people, but we won't get into that. But I really
we can get into it. I would love to know.
We're going to get into that.
But I mean, I just really like, and then like when she told me she sleeps till 3 or 5 sometimes, I was like, that's where the energy comes from. Right. I thought something was wrong with me.
No. So they can plug her in and charge her up.
Everyone else is on the wind down of their day, and I'm just getting started. Like
it's such a wonderful fact about you.
Yeah.
Truly. And it's so true because we'll be talking in the group chat at 8 a.m. and right on the dot, 4:55. Alice will reply like, yeah, I'm down. And you're always going to be down. So I've already made up the plan in my head. Like, it's always like, yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
You never really missed out on anything.
Alice won't get to us till after 3:30, but she'll probably be into it.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. I was like the same things. I know. I'll be sending the message. I'll be like, all right, 3:30, 4 o'clock, and then it's like ding. I just get that notification, or it's like the perfect time, and I'm like, all right, well, I mean, also it's 3. It's like 7 is still 3 hours away. She's gonna wake up and be like, oh, there's still 3 hours until I have to go. Okay, great. And like that's perfect. I love that.
Oh yeah, I do know. There's been like 1 or 2 times where you guys have sent the 8 a.m. text, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm not even asleep yet. Let me just reply, and then and then it's off to dreamland.
That is.
I am honored. I'm the last text you get before you go to bed at 9 a.m. That's so good.
I'm honored as well, so thank you, because you really could have just been like, well, in about 8 hours I'll respond.
Right.
So thank you.
And fuck these bitches. Good night.
Right. Yeah, I really don't see a problem with it. There's nothing like you do your stuff beforehand and afterhand, and you still get shit done. And I'm like, can't see a problem with it.
There isn't, because you was on Sarah stuff from his Instagram last week. She ain't think she's good, okay?
Girl,
and not to mention the fact,
you want.
Yeah, like no, look, I don't care what time Oprah wake up. Okay, she gets things done. I don't care what time Beyonce wake up. Okay, because Renaissance was amazing. So as long as you do what you got to do, girl, get your life. I really just wish I could sleep until. But yeah. Oh gosh.
You know what I found very validating? I was watching comedians in cars getting coffee, and Seinfeld was talking about getting up at like 7 a.m. and Jon Stewart was like, are you serious? What? No, not 7:30 a.m. And he said, I thought the whole point of being a comedian was that it's a job that's at night, because that goes with your body's natural rhythm where you just want to be up all night. And I was like, yeah.
Yo, genius.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also remember reading that, like, Trevor Noah would wake up first thing and then go to film The Daily Show and then get started on his day and like go to sleep. He'd like grocery shop at 2 a.m. And it's like, yeah, because there's no one in the fucking store at 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's smart.
You're smart. And like lollygag at whatever the fuck. I mean, you got to find that 24-hour grocery store, but they're out there.
Listen. Some places will open, especially if you like a celebrity. Some places they'll open for you, especially if it's like a boutique spot. Because I've hung out with some comics or whatever, and they open. Oh, one time I ended up being with Dave Chappelle, actually, like after a show, a friend of a friend. She was cool with him, right? And so she was like, oh, like after his show, he invited us and just a bunch of black people, and that's what I love. Like we just rolled deep in black to like every spot we went to. I won't get into too many details of the locations, but one of the spots we went to, we got to this spot at 4 in the morning, and they opened up for a date. It was open till 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, now that's boss moves right there.
Absolutely.
When you can, I wish, girl, listen, if I could get CVS to open for me when I wanted to, because the one by my house be closing at 10.
No, let me find out which Whole Foods is opening up at 2 a.m. so Trevor Noah can do his grocery shopping like a bougie bitch. Let me find out.
Yeah, same.
Oh my
With him.
goodness. Well, speaking of groceries, Bree, how was your Thanksgiving? Or
Good transition, girl. You know I didn't buy no groceries, girl.
it's a metaphor.
I'm the black girl. I'm the black girl who brings the silverware and shit. I have a Costco size thing
cups and napkins.
of silverware, yeah, and that's what I bring to anything. But I had a great time. You know, I'm not a Thanksgiving fan. I'm really not. I never really have been. Family
For
shit.
food reasons, political reasons, or family reasons?
Family reasons.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I kind of would disguise it as political reasons, but I was like, nah, yeah, but also like, fuck. So I definitely, it was always like a weird time. So same with Christmas. I'm kind of the Grinch when it comes to Christmas, but like I respect it spiritually, and I respect it for the people that love to do it and whatnot.
What do you mean like you're a Grinch? Like what does your Christmas look like?
I don't getting high and getting free stuff, like free things or whatever, and like same thing, like my family can never figure it out, so this person, auntie, doesn't talk to mom and whatnot, and then when I got adopted by white people, and so they would have Christmas at 8 a.m. and go to church at midnight and shit like that, and like dumb weird white people shit, and then
The
it's
night
like
church does that.
midnight, not midnight.
It's like, and then it's like a scene more. It's like a show more than
It's a performance.
when it came down to it, because and then my biological family too is my auntie doesn't talk to my mom, and so my auntie's always trying to give me a present that's just to show off to my mom that it's that, and then my mom would be like, "What do you guys want?" And we'd say what we wanted, and my mom didn't raise me, so she had to send it or whatever, so she'd be like, "How much is it?" And we'd tell her, and she'd be like, "Okay, anything but that." It's like, well, then why did you ask every year too? And we'd always be like, "This is the year she's gonna actually buy it." You're like, nah. And she might have bought some stuff, but it was also like, once you said the price, it was like, because this is Toys R Us times, it said the price, and so you had it circled, the price, like, Mom, that is $39.99. She's like, ooh, I don't know. Wish I never asked. So
you know what though? I think it's most black parents have done that at some point, because to their kids. I know I got told several times. I'm like, oh, I want this. They were like, oh yeah, no, you gonna get this book, okay?
Yeah.
And you gonna sit down and and I felt like a lot of my gifts, like if it had to have a function. Like I got a lot of clothes growing up. I did get toys sometimes, but it was like I wasn't never really a big toy girl. Like I would get like little notebooks, and like I remember one year my dad caught me like sneaking watching Weeds, and then he actually got me the first 3 seasons of Weeds on DVD, and I was just like, oh, okay, so you paid attention. I was like, okay, points to you, Ricardo. Okay.
you remember the first
nice.
episode of Weeds where they throw that weed in the pool?
Girl,
You remember that?
I haven't never seen a single episode of
whoa.
If you just watch that clip, it's just pounds and pounds and pounds and pounds of weed they throw in a pool. And even as like a young little stoner girl, it would make me sick. It'd make me nauseous. I'd be like, oh God. Oh no. I'll send it to you.
Okay, is nothing against Weeds. It was one of those shows I just missed.
Just never watched.
Yeah, I mean, there's so
disrespect.
many. I mean, but girl, I mean, Weeds, like I'm glad she brought that up, because like it's constant anxiety, like, but in a good way, right? And like there's all these like little like breaks of tension, comedic tension, and it's a great show. Yeah, but
I'm gonna.
You guys talking about your Christmases. My mom, like, we didn't do Santa Claus. We didn't believe in Santa Claus. Because my mom thought that lying was a sin, so she couldn't lie to us and tell us that Santa was real. But Zach
Makes
Stein,
sense.
my friend, just pointed out that she also told us we weren't allowed to tell our friends that Santa wasn't real. So he was like, she couldn't lie to you, so she just made all of you guys
Yeah.
lie to your friends.
Yeah. And vice versa.
And I was like, oh shit, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
She's like, I'm not gonna create the same. But
Yeah.
you can.
the fact that she the fact that we didn't believe in Santa Claus, like we always knew my parents were paying for the presents. You know, and because if we believed in Santa Claus, I'd have been hoping for, you know, bicycle this, electric, you know, motor car shit, you know, stuff that we couldn't afford. Whereas like my mom would like take us to the 99-cent store, and she would have us all sit in the van, me and my 4 siblings, and she would take us into the 99-cent store one at a time and be like, pick out one gift for each of your siblings.
Yeah.
And so in that way we were all getting like 4 things from the siblings, and then like a one big present from my parents.
Oh, that's actually really sweet, man.
Yeah.
See, my parents, they cut that Santa stuff off at like 7. Like up until about 7, 8, it always said from Santa. And then after that, I mean, they put it on there for semantics, but they admitted no. Because my dad let me watch The Exorcist when I was 8. So I feel like that was his way of being like, Santa's not real, but demons are. It's like, wait a second. Wait.
Yeah,
I was way too young to watch that movie, man. I remember my dad, because I lived with my dad and stepmom at the time, and he was like, oh, let her watch it. He was like, you know, she was like, no, Chelsea's too young to watch this, and he was like, oh, it's biblical.
I've heard so many horror stories from so many kids who watch The Exorcist too young.
Girl.
Yeah, your dad must have made you watch it like don't fuck with me or your head will spin. I'll make your head spin clockwise and both ways. And
yeah, he was, I think, I don't know. I think he honestly thought, because like there's like a priest in it. He's like, oh, it's biblical. And so we can watch it. But I mean, it did scare the mess out of me. I had terrible nightmares. But here's what made it worse is I grew up in Northern Virginia, DC area. And like, I'm like 40 minutes from DC. We would go to DC all the time for field trips. And my dad was like, yeah, like they shot that movie in DC. And then there's a staircase, and apparently 10 crew members died during the filming of that movie.
Yeah.
2 of them fell down the stairs. And I'm like, wait, and I said, hold on, fam. Like, how much budget went into this movie? Okay,
Yeah.
like you ever like when I heard that, I said, after the first death, you got to halt production. Like, how y'all go? They're like, no, we got to get this Exorcist demon movie out. Like, I don't know who produced that film, but they was like, nah, man. I know we done had like 8 deaths, but we gonna make sure this come to theaters.
yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of industries that do not give a fuck if somebody dies. You know, like Walmart doesn't give a fuck if a cashier dies, and Hollywood does not give a fuck if like some big name actors just die.
no, because they're still gonna make their money.
Yeah, they're like, no, the show must roll on. Get his brother in here. Tell him to wipe his tears. And
Fun
study
fact
these lines.
about Exorcist is that the priest in that movie is a like full blown atheist in real life.
Oh, well, see, no wonder people were rolling down the stairs. See, why was I don't know. This is getting
Yeah.
We went on a whole tangent, but I
the actual
don't know how
devil.
we got on The Exorcist, but I just will never forget watching that movie at that age, and like how much it was just so, I don't know, I would just get creeped out, you know, like even going by that area of town where they shot it. So yeah, but
I don't remember if it's The Exorcist or not, but apparently there's like a serial killer in the movie who plays a nurse, and he like killed 4 people in real life.
Wow.
But was like playing a nurse as an actor, and then later would you know.
Okay, at some point character development, it goes too far. Okay,
It's a lot.
At some
It's a lot.
point,
It's a lot. Just give it to people like us that can just act, you know?
right?
Or
Like,
just act it out and not have to do all that.
You know what I learned? So much of Hollywood is just straight nepotism, and it really is who you know, which, you know,
really
is
is.
obvious, but it sucks.
It's 100% that.
Because I went to an acting class and I saw all of these like regular motherfuckers who were like astonishing actors. And you're like, Hollywood is still going to be like, this is, you know, Ashton Kutcher's goddaughter. Okay. Whether she has it or not. And it's like, there's so many talented motherfuckers out there.
Yes, there is. I love this. But yeah, it was a good Thanksgiving. That was the original.
oh yeah, that's where we started.
It was a good Thanksgiving. Again,
Satan,
Alice
The
Hamilton.
Exorcist, we came
got us
around.
high. I appreciate Chelsea came over and gave some stuff. I think my friends are catching on that I just don't. I don't like the the time. It's just it's just a weird time. I kind of I'll just kind of pick what I want to go to, as opposed, I used to get pressured to like kind of go to this or this Friendsgiving or please, and then I finally figured out like I'm gonna pick what I want to do. And like, it's been nice. Everyone came over to me. Everyone smoked me out. Chelsea brought some champagne and some orange juice.
Yes.
And brought some food, so I didn't even have to leave. They brought me some food and stuff like that, and like chill with my dog and stuff. And I just stayed by my phone and like FaceTime my family. What how was it for you?
Oh yeah, my Thanksgiving was it was great. It was
And the shrimp, bitch. Sorry, couldn't wait.
Yo, it was great. I cooked. I made deviled eggs. I made some gluten-free stuffing or dressing where I'm from. That's how we say it. And then I made some some dressing.
Let's go.
And then I made some a dairy-free, gluten-free mac and cheese with seafood in it. Nice. And it came out really good. I love cooking. Like, here's the thing. I didn't even get any official plans until the day before Thanksgiving, but I already knew that I was going to cook those things. So it's like, that's how I just do Thanksgiving now. Like, if I'm in town, I'm just going to cook the things that I know that I want to eat. And then I'll just go to whoever's house will have me. Exactly.
With whoever wants to have some. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. I want to, I like to host a Friendsgiving. You know,
okay.
I haven't been doing that recently, but like, in the past few years, but like in the past, I've loved to host a Friendsgiving because it's like you get to control the food and the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And so like, as someone who, does not fuck with my family at the holidays.
Yeah.
I love, but yeah, I don't want to do like an obligation thing. I don't like to do something that, and you shouldn't. Like, I'm trying to like, be
expected.
Yeah, I'm trying to like, I want to be supportive of like, your holiday season shouldn't be shitty.
Right.
Yeah.
Same.
Fucking obligation.
And
to
it
that
shouldn't be
end.
shitty for y'all either, because mine always has been. It shouldn't have to. I see people be like, yeah, this one time I bike. I thought I was gonna bike and I didn't. I was like, nigga, you don't gotta do all that. Something like, but. Chelsea, you threw down.
Yeah, no, I had an amazing time. I mean, I went to our good friends, shout out to like Arthur and Niles, and we hung out with them, and I went there, and it was good food. My homegirl Diana, she made tamales from scratch. And then I hung out with Corey and some of the other guys from Mother Pod, from out here, and Corey threw down. And it's funny because Corey's white homeboy, they did it at his house, and his friend was like, hey, yeah, you want to come to my house for Thanksgiving? And I was like, I gave him that side eye, like, who's going to be doing the seasoning and the cooking? No shade. And then he was like, no, don't worry, only the black people are cooking. And I said,
really?
The white people just sit there and they can't
speak. The fact that it has to be said.
It has to be said, because I mean, like, I'm sure white people can cook. I just haven't tasted it. I mean, like, there's like, I've had maybe like a handful of white people in my whole life that have gagged me with they cooking, and usually they're like half Greek or Italian or something.
Right.
But just season. And but anyway, the food was amazing, and no shade to any white person who can cook. I'm hey,
that should be a show.
Go cook, bring us a meal here.
Prove us wrong.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
my mom is white, and but she's like half Mexican, but like she got all of her, she couldn't cook. And so she stopped cooking out of like, she was so sick of the complaining. She was like, I'm never cooking for you guys again. Like early 90s, she did all the home cooking. Every single Monday was stir fry. I don't remember what was Tuesday. Wednesday was stroganoff. Thursday was fish and broccoli. Friday was spaghetti. Saturday was burritos, but it was just like refried beans, olives, and cheese, and that was the burrito. But like she would do all the cooking, and we would always just complain. So like in the year like 2001 or something, she was like, and I'm never cooking for you fucks ever again. But I thought I hated Thanksgiving food because she cooked all of it, and it just, I didn't know that turkey wasn't supposed to be that dry. I did. And the first time that I had good turkey, my mind was blown. I was like, I always would just take a piece of turkey to be polite.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my God, I was like recooking leftovers the first time.
Oh
Yeah.
man, not the dry food. Ooh,
But
dry food is like dry pussy. I'm sorry, and dry dick and anything dry.
Dry
it's
body
just,
parts.
It's just
Nobody
any.
likes.
It's like dry elbows, dry ankle, anything
It's
dry.
like, what can I do with this? What do you want me to do with this?
Right. It's just like, you know how like if you're in bed with somebody and they have dry feet, it be cutting your shins and stuff. You're like, why do I have battle scars? It's like, it's because your feet is dry.
Yeah.
And so it just dry. It just makes. There's very few things that times when dry is good. Okay, and most of the time it is good. It involves a hair salon. So I'm.
No, my mom would cook spinach and she would season it with white vinegar. And
I'm sorry. Wait. Sorry. It's just one more time for the phone.
Yeah, I run it back.
she would pour white vinegar onto the spinach, and like, in order to get dessert, you had to clear your plate. And me and my siblings would sometimes have to eat the spinach over the sink because we were gagging, like in case we threw up. But we wanted the ice cream that bad, and we're like crying, trying to eat this disgusting fucking spinach.
Oh my God.
So I can't cook at all. So I will like look up a recipe. You know what? The Great British Baking Show on Netflix, Prue was like, if you can read, you can bake. And I was like, I can read. So I've been cooking shit, and it's been like, trial and error. So, it's like, just because I cooked a cheesecake don't mean that it came out good.
You know what?
Yeah.
The key is, and this is what I've learned, and this is just for anybody who wants to take it, but just get as many salt-free seasonings as you can. And it's really hard to over season it. I think I saw that on one of those cooking shows or something, because it's like, if you've got garlic powder and sage and thyme and paprika, if you got like stuff like that, you got chili powder, none of that stuff has salt in it. So it's like, if you use a lot of that and then like a little bit of salt, your food's gonna still be seasoned 9 times out of 10, because all that other stuff is opening up the flavors. This ain't Top Chef, but we be I like to saute, and both my parents, like, that's just how I saw them cooking growing up, that both my parents can cook. That's why the divorce wasn't that bad.
This Thanksgiving though, I did learn that you can't make up for salt and pepper with the other seasonings every single time, because I took a bite.
It depends on the dish.
My mac and cheese, because I fucked it up last year, because it tasted really good, but the cheese, like, I put the milk in while it was cold, and you're supposed to warm the milk up, and that makes it to where like it doesn't like split or like kind of get grainy. And so it's like, last year my shit was grainy. The first year, A+ ballpark, there was little kids running back and forth getting seconds, thirds, like,
oh, when the kids are eating the food, it's good, because kids be real on. I've gone to Thanksgivings where kids be real shady. They're like, this nasty. Okay, and they say it loud too. They make sure everybody
Little nigga shush.
No, it's like, I see the parents are like, no, eat the turkey and then more mac and cheese, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yes, like, it's like when your food's the reward food, like, that's what you want. Like, there's punishment food and there's reward food, and like, in this verse, and like in Thanksgiving, you be seeing parents that are like, you're like, oh, the greens, oh yeah, that's the punishment food.
Eat them.
She forgot the fat bag,
or no pumpkin pie.
Oh man, what a great holiday weekend that was, and I got a lot of rest. And and we watched a show, Z-Way.
We did watch Z-Way.
Okay, so
you're doing a Queen for the Day.
Yeah. I'll do Queen for a Day, and then I guess we'll go into your baby. What you doing?
Don't say that too fast, because it sounds like Queen for a Day.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, girl. Queen for a Day, or however Chell sang it.
Maybe it's the weed, but I just heard it like, I was like, I just said that fast.
Girl, I need to. Yeah, you're right. Thank you for reminding me about my enunciation. We gonna
just for a day.
Just one day.
One day. Okay, so all right, we're gonna move into our a few segments right now. And I'm sorry. I just love Black women's faces. We have the best faces. But I will say,
thanks for letting me in.
Team Queen. But yeah, so we are gonna start off, or I'm gonna start off, and I want to shout out our queen for a day. So one of the things that we, me and Bree, like she mentioned earlier, we had a brunch, like a kind of like a Black Friday leftovers brunch. We had the mimosas, we heated up the leftovers, we had a bacon and eggs. You know, you had bacon and eggs, it's brunch, and it was a great time. So we were like watching different shows on TV while we're hanging out, and then one of her roommates said something about, oh, have you guys seen the newest Z-Way? And so Z-Way, those of you who don't know, she has a show on Showtime, and she is first of all, stunning, like
so fine. Z-Way is so fine.
Fucking Barbie doll.
Fucking Barbie doll.
I mean,
The face.
Oh my God.
Girl.
And so smart.
And so smart.
So smart and so fine.
And I didn't realize that she's on season 3 just dropped of Z-Way. But I remember seeing the advertisements, and I didn't have a Showtime subscription, so you know. But I got it down. And actually I have my dad's, thanks Pops. And so so I watched the show. We just started watching different episodes, and I just want to make her queen for a day because this young woman, she is like 30 years old. She has on season 3 on a hit show, clearly a hit show. I mean, Showtime not doing 3 seasons of whack shows. Clearly a hit show. Yeah. I enjoy how like direct she is. Like, you've seen the show, right, Alice?
Yes, I've seen the show. I saw. I feel like people don't usually talk about this stuff, but I don't really give a fuck. I sent in a packet to try to be a writer, but I didn't get it.
Oh, girl.
Oh, I love that you talk about it.
No,
though.
I love that you're talking about too, because shit, like
you do get it.
But like, I was like, you know, doing my research on the show, and I was like, you know, the whole thing to the side for like 1 second. I was like, this is fucking phenomenal for her. Just the fact that she gets to fucking wear these outfits and with these fucking looks on her own goddamn show.
Yeah.
I love the content and all of it, but it's like she always comes. I'm like, Black Barbie, like I don't know what else to say.
I love it, and it's just, and I love her face she makes when she asks people's questions. She's like tilts her head and like,
yeah, she has fun with it. And anyone who like doesn't see how much fucking fun she's having with this, it's like you're taking it too seriously when clearly there's some silly shit going on.
For sure.
Here.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's funny watching some of the white guests get really uptight when they think that they're being canceled. I was like, no, she's fucking with you.
You're right. Like, that's the whole point.
This is the interview is you're getting fucked with in the interview. And it's fucking fun to see who like gets in on the joke and who takes it seriously and who doesn't see that it's a fucking wind up.
I love every it was like the perfect thing to watch on that day, and I just want to say, continue what you're doing, girl. I mean, I really, you're just, as Black women, we support you, we love your show, and it's just nice to see you boss up and like ask these white people hard questions and make them squirm. So I really, that's my favorite part, is watching them like get uncomfortable. Like when she interviewed Michael Che, like even like at one point Michael Che had said in one of the interviews, he was like, well, you know, if you and I were a couple, and her face first of all was just like her face was just hit him with the like, yeah, so this is definitely hypothetical. And then he was like, but if we were a couple, we would be Z-Che. And she was like, and her face got even more like, nah, sir.
Yeah, what?
It's like,
but would they be Z-Che? Because like I feel like making a dorky nickname for a celebrity couple is mostly white people.
Girl,
you know, it's like no one's putting Jada and Will together, and like none of the, you know, they're not putting Denzel and I don't know his wife's name together, but
yeah, they just be like, what they don't talk about, when they just be like, oh, the Smiths, right? They just, that's how Black people be like.
Celebrity combo couple name isn't really our thing.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that's kind of a wild thing to say to somebody too, though.
Yeah. But I mean, I just was like, I feel like he should have, like, it was just funny. It was a great exchange. Definitely watch season 3. The whole season's out. But yeah, that was her face when he was like, if we were a couple. It was the lean back and the like the rock eyebrow and the side. It still looked like a Barbie the whole time. It was amazing. Oh man. Well, that's my queen for the day. So shout out to you, Z-Way.
Perfect.
So Bree, I feel like you have a little segment for us that we like to call.
Oh, okay. We call this
Baby, what is you doing?
Baby, what is you doing?
Alice, say it one more time.
Baby, what is you doing?
So on Thanksgiving, I found out that my grandpa, who's been in prison for 7 years, got released on Thanksgiving. And
Yes. Okay.
yeah,
Shout out.
My nigga got released. He's a beautiful, perfect man, and we've had a wonderful
That's great.
friendship. And just some bullshit happened where they have these apps and stuff, girl, and you can talk to your family members or whatever. I put in $60 one time and it didn't work, so I called the people up. It's called Telecoin. It's City Telecoin. Shout out to our sponsors.
Shout out to our sponsors as you're about to talk about how they fucked you out of $60.
Right. See, this is what you could have had. So I called them and I was like, yo, like this isn't working. And they say in the robot says, hey, we don't tolerate any disrespect if you call customer service. So they also
The robot says it. Okay.
Yeah, the robot's like, don't play with me, nigga. And so when I talked to the girl, very yeah, how can I help you? You know, like didn't want to help. So why are you saying that? And so I was like, hey, like it said, I put $60 in and it didn't work. She was like, okay, we'll do it again. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that again. You know, and it escalated. And she was like, man, well, I don't know what to tell you. Like, well, and I, did a very triggered, 16-year-old Brie came out with like, well, your daddy's not in jail. You ain't have to talk to your daddy in like 50 years, blah, 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 and all this shit. It's just, it's a job for you, you're not the one, that doesn't have to worry about some shit because you're on the other end of some shit. And she goes, ma'am, did you raise your voice with me? And I was like, girl, I did. Girl, you heard me. I did. And then click, she hung up, and it suspended my account for a little bit. You literally can't have an attitude. You can't Disney like all that bullshit. You can't have an attitude, And so, lost out of $60. Got me out of the count for years. And so I haven't been able to talk to my grandpa, not just solely for this reason, but other things have marked me down for not being able to talk to him or whatever. So I was thinking it would be cool. We could call him. And if you got, if we want to meet him, and we could give him a call.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah. Absolutely.
He got a phone and he don't know how to use it. And
okay. Yes.
So let's see. Let me see if we could call him.
So this is going to be Pops, what you doing?
Yeah. This is Pops, what you doing? And he don't even know I'm doing this, so he might not answer.
Okay.
But we'll try every week. So
yes. Leave a voice message.
What's his name?
Ronnie.
Okay, Ronnie. Oh,
Grandpa
yeah.
Ronnie.
Yes.
I'm sorry, the person you were trying to...
Okay, he might call back, but
If he calls back, feel free to like interrupt any of my bullshit because my shit is way more trivial.
Is it RONNIE or Y?
RONNIE.
Oh.
And then
I'm on YouTube. I was wondering why it wasn't coming up. And it says Ronald Charles Reed 70. Oh, so he was 70 when he went in. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
So he is terminally ill, which sucks, but it also works out because he gets out early. So that is the good and the bad. And I guess my auntie says he looks good and he feels good, so everything's fine. But long story short with this, if you look up Disco Ronnie, this thing is a legend, but it kind of sucks. If anyone
I'm gonna show it to the viewer. I'm gonna show it to the viewers real quick.
If anyone remembers around this
Disco
time,
Ronnie.
everyone having to get a bunch of new cards and debit cards and stuff. It was this nigga. And it's crazy because I would never put it together because he used to have to always search for a card when he was checking out and stuff. Mm-hmm. Never put it together. Like I started to put together when he went in. I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. He had so many debit cards, girl, and so many things. So basically he would go up to the clerks and he would pay them to sell him debit cards and stuff. So it was like young ass kids that went in. You'll look it up, like 20 years old, that were like clerks and stuff there. They were like, hell yeah, you're going to pay me $5,000 for someone's debit card? Hell yeah. They would sell their debit card information.
This is kind of like what happened on Rap Shit a little bit with one of the main characters when she was taking photos of the car. Girl.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
So put me on that show, because you're welcome.
You got real life experience.
Right.
Yeah. I've definitely been hacked before, and I was actually honored that they thought they could spend $680 at Toys R Us back when Toys R Us was still open. And I remember being like, $680? Like I had $80 in my account. Like yeah, but Wells Fargo at the time they rejected it. So.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, well, you know what? Honestly, though, shout out to your grandfather for being out, though.
Thank you, girl. Thank you.
Yeah, like that's
so full. I feel like definitely a missing link was like.
Yeah,
it feels really good. Thank you so much. So we'll keep calling him. He's a really cool guy. I can't wait for you guys to meet him. So we'll try the next time.
Well, yeah, and shout out to
No,
just
for sure. And if he calls back, answer that shit immediately.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna know how to use a phone. So we'll.
I remember the first text I got from my dad, and it said, I don't know how to use this. And then the word like THI, it was like clearly he was trying to say thing, but then it was just like 11 pluses, a minus, and some exclamation points. And I was like,
You really don't.
like damn.
you're like correct, Dad.
You weren't lying.
But Alice, before we head out, we definitely wanted to check in with you about like what's going on with like news and comedy and stuff like that.
Joe Rogan, he was saying the N-word all those times that while ago. You remember someone made a compilation of it, which is such a funny thing to do, of just him saying the N-word like 110 times in a row.
Oh my God! And it's not bleeped out.
No, across different episodes of his podcast, because like the Joe Rogan Experience, he said the N-word.
I heard of that, but never saw the video.
I saw the video.
Can we
It's
watch?
so-
Can we put it
you
up?
you can search that shit up on Twitter. I'm sure you can find it somewhere.
Okay, all right, yeah.
But okay, so after that, everyone on Twitter there were people condemning Joe Rogan, but mostly people were just making fun of him and like giving him shit. And so
Right, which is like if the least you're getting for saying the N-word publicly like that on your show is some shit, like you gotta just take it, fam.
Take it,
like
honey.
Yeah.
Take it.
But comedians are so sensitive. And so like a bunch of Joe Rogan's friends, Robin Tran was like, they were acting like he died. They were posting photos of him in black and white being like, Joe Rogan is my friend and I stand with him.
Jesus.
And so anyway, Whitney Cummings, her response to Joe Rogan getting roasted for saying the N-word 110 times was she tweeted out this: comedians did not sign up to be your hero. It's our job to be irreverent and dangerous, to question authority and take you through a spooky mental haunted house so you can arrive at your own conclusions. Stay focused on the people we pay taxes to be moral leaders. And it's like there's so much middle ground between being a moral leader and not being a white dude who uses the N-word 110 times on his podcast.
right.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she's like, comedian's job is to take you through a spooky mental haunted house. So you can,
nigga.
yes, and it's like you're questioning authority. You're questioning the authorities telling you to not say the N-word if you're not fucking black. Why do you need to question that authority?
Yeah,
so many times.
Girl,
Oh my God.
Can you not just concede to that authority? They have a good fucking point. Leave them alone. Like,
right, like
so that was a while ago. That was a while ago.
Okay.
So Whitney Cummings put out her special, which I think is just called Jokes, and it's dog shit. No, for real. She's got a special called I Am Your Girlfriend on HBO. I liked that one. She put out a special called Can I Touch It, about how women are all scared that sex dolls are going to come and take over. And she was like, here's how we prepare for, the incoming normalization of sex dolls. And it's like, bitch, if you are talking to a man who wants to go fuck a plastic doll, then just walk away and talk to a different man. Like, is your self-esteem so fucking low that you feel the need to compete with these sex dolls? Any men out there who want to fuck a doll, I support it. You can bring her to IHOP. I won't act weird. Like, you can live your life. I don't give a fuck about the incoming normalization of sex dolls. I remember the woman I babysat for, she was like, me and my husband tried to watch Whitney's thing last night, but as soon as she started talking about the sex doll, we turned it off. And she was like, does it get better? And I was like, no, she talks about the sex doll for the rest of the fucking special. She brings out a sex doll of herself that she had made. And she was like, ladies, here's what we can do. And it's like, no. No one is worried about this but you. Like,
wow.
Anyway, so
I hate that.
she puts out, that was a while ago, she puts out this new one called Jokes, and at the very end of it, she goes in this speech, and I couldn't find this speech, but this corny ass motherfucking speech about, she's like, thank you guys for supporting live comedy. Like, people don't like comedians right now. They think we're assholes. Like, people don't want to keep watching us like question authority and put people in their place. And it's like, no.
Also, girl, who are you putting in their place?
Joe Rogan was getting put in his place, and y'all tried to step in front of him. This is going to be maybe a corny thing for me to do, But in the movie King Richard, when Will Smith says something to one of the white businessmen and then his friend leans over and starts defending him and Will Smith is just like, no, I asked him the question. He can answer. He's a grown man. He doesn't need you to step in.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
When Rogan was caught saying the N-word, Tom Segura, Burt Kreischer, Whitney Cummings, all these motherfuckers.
Segura again. Here we Segura.
All these motherfuckers were stepping in to defend Rogan, and it's like he said the N-word 110 times, so he can either stand by it or apologize for it. He doesn't need you guys to try to take any of these bullets for him.
Right.
So anyways, everyone was making fun of Whitney for that corny ass motherfucking speech. So then there's a comedian that I liked, got no beef with this girl. You know, maybe I won't even say her name. I won't say her name. Because I got no problem. Anyway, she was like opening for Joey Diaz, and a guy in the audience just like, she was wearing yoga pants, I think, or something. Maybe she wasn't, and I just made that up. I don't know. But this guy just basically tried to grab her pussy, literally.
Oh.
And so she was like kind of kicking his ass after the show.
Okay,
And
good. I'm glad. Shoot.
There was an article written about this. Whitney Cummings tweets out that article and says, "Go ahead and keep making fun of comics who say they didn't sign up to be physically and sexually assaulted at a comedy show. You're brilliant," to the comic who it was. And it's like, you must have learned these fucking gaslighting skills from your friend Dalia, because that is not why anyone was mad at you, you corny fucking cunt.
Yo.
You dumb fucking bitch. She's like, just deciding, I'm going to change this narrative. And it's like, no one was mad that, Chris Rock or no one was like wanting Chris Rock to get slapped. No one was wanting this female comedian to get sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
And no one was mad at you for thinking those things were wrong. They were mad at you for having the shittiest fucking analogy of all time, a spooky mental haunted house. You think Joe Rogan saying nigger 110 times was him taking us all through a spooky mental haunted house? No, he was.
I think she meant plantation.
Yes. Oh, fuck me. I wish I thought of it. It's like you're taking us through a
house and
plantation.
Hey.
Yeah, that's good.
This is like Us and Antebellum.
Yes.
It's like what?
Man.
And it's like just fucking. Anyway, that's my thing. That's my what's happening in comedy right now.
That's
is
so good.
Whitney Cummings is being a gaslighting, hypocritical, corny motherfucker.
Yeah, and also it's just like, I just let people speak for themselves, and I don't be caping for folks. You know what I'm saying? Like, like if somebody came for like, well, somebody my real like friends, like one of y'all, or like so whatever, a family member, that's different. But it's just like, I'm not gonna cape for no other adult comedian who you chose to say the N-word on your show. No, and you got all these followers, and then here come Cummings talking about some. And the spooky haunted house, and it's not our moral compass.
It's our job to be irreverent. I'm like, you were being racist. That's not your job.
Like, no, I'm sorry, but I've never put like Joe Rogan and moral compass in the same sentence. I wouldn't even put most stand-up comedians in moral compass, and because it's like it's just, I don't know, it's just a really bad analogy.
Whenever white people are criticized for racism, they never seem to
understand
it. No, they never seem to like comprehend like exactly how little is being asked of them.
Right.
Because everyone making fun of Joe Rogan and giving him shit for saying the N-word, they weren't asking for a whole lot. You're gonna get people that's like, Spotify, fucking get rid of it. It's like, you don't have to worry about those people. Spotify made their choice.
Right.
To the tune of $100 million. Like, you really don't gotta be like, everyone's coming for my friend Joe and I gotta stand up for him. Like, it's like he said the N-word, let him, catch the fucking
and
shit.
He's rich, and he said the N-word all them times it's on video, and he's still rich,
and
so
he's richer than all of them. And it's like they're all revealing like how fucking racist they are by being so sensitive to a pretty rational reaction to seeing a really funny compilation video of Joe Rogan saying the N-word a bunch of times in a row. It's, what do you think people are going to react to that? They were acting like the Twitter mob is firing up, and it's like, no, Black Twitter's mocking this motherfucker.
And he should be mocked, because you didn't lose your career for doing for that, even though and so it's like, at the very least you're gonna have to just take some smack a few times a year and just deal with it. Like, I don't it's like, dude, didn't he used to be MMA fighter, right? Joe Rogan, didn't he fight? Or I don't know, he used to do something that involved a lot of sweat and muscles, so he's he's fine. He's a big boy.
I hope he was doing something where he was regularly getting his ass kicked. That sounds nice. I support that. Somebody punching this motherfucker in the head every once in a while. Good.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, it's so fucking stupid. Like making like, what do you think people are going to react to seeing Joe Rogan use the N-word all these times? Like, is anger not appropriate now? If it's not appropriate now, if calling someone a racist isn't appropriate in this situation, then when can we say it?
Then when is it, girl? All right. And
I done said my piece. Let's get out of here. Bitches.
Yeah, we're done. Just want to say goodbye, everybody, and continue to follow us at Queens Boulevard Podcast on Instagram, and and please subscribe to our channel, like, share, subscribe, and so bye. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye, y'all. Thank you so much.